Hey guys, what's up? It's been a long time since I filmed my last YouTube video. This time I have the courtesy of my wife helping me capture the video. So it's not going to be a screen recording or a post-processing retouching. I got asked actually on Instagram some simple ways on how to diffuse flashlight, bare bulb flashlight. So as you can see, we have a bare bulb flash head here. It's a Godox AD200, very reminiscent of speed lights, just a little bit more powerful. And when we're shooting models, obviously we have Crystal, our model here, modeling mannequin head. We tend to not use hard light, especially during event or fashion, sometimes for fashion, but especially for wedding photography, we like to shoot more with soft light. It softens the skin tones, it reduces the shadows on our subject, so that's why we use soft light. I am in no way, shape, or form telling you guys not to use hard light in your day-to-day shooting, because hard light has a place on its own. If you want to chisel out a man's jaw, if you really want to show muscles and an athletic body form, really dramatic scenes, use hard light. But for something for a mannequin head showing soft light, and the question that I got asked, I'm going to show you guys two simple ways to diffuse hard light. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dial in my ambient exposure. So we always start off by, this is not a flash course by the way, but I'm going to give you a basic tip. We always start off by dialing in our ambient exposure without any light. That'll give us a basis of what the exposure would look like without the flash. So I'm going to go in and dial my exposure. I'm just going to turn the lights off, guys, okay? Because I don't like to keep on these lights. They're giving me a tungsten balanced white light, which I don't like. It's giving a color cast, so I apologize if it gets a bit dark. But we'll turn the lights back on when we're done. So I'm going to dial in my ambient exposure. See what it's giving me. Okay. So I'm getting f2, 100 ISO, and 1/160th of a second. Take a look at it on screen for a couple seconds. You'll see the image is very dark. Nothing is lit up. We have a little bit of shadows in the image, just to get the bear. We want to make sure our shadows are not clipped. And that gives you an idea. Now, we're going to turn on our flash. We have one Godox AD200 over here. I tend to use grids very often in a lot of my work. Anybody who follows me will know I like to use grids to narrow my flash beam pattern. So this is from MagMod. It's very simple to install. You take the grid and you pop it onto the MagMod Mag Grip, and the magnetic attachment attaches the grid. I'm also going to go with a 1/4 CTO flash gel to warm up the flash. CTO gels are so useful. CTO and CTB are cooling gels to warm up the skin complexion and give the model a completely different look and blend that flash into the environment. I'll probably ask or answer questions after as to why you don't want to change the white balance on your camera. Bad idea. I tend to shoot in daylight setting on my camera most of the time because it gives me a neutral standpoint to start off with my white balance. So a 1/4 CTO gel, one flash grid, bare Fresnel head. So no diffusion at all, hard light. So we're going to put that on. We have the advantage of having the grid pop on and hold that flash gel together. We're going to go ahead and turn our flash on, and we're also going to turn our transceiver on, and we're going to get our reading on our flash and see how much power we need on our flash and how much distance we need. Now when it comes to flash distance and light fall off, that is going to be a subject for another course. It's called the inverse square law. I'm planning to make a video for all you photographers out there because I think it's imperatively important to understand how light shaping and light fall off works. Simple stuff like turning a background from white to gray can be done basically by placing the subject a different distance from the wall and placing the flash a different distance. But that's for another time. So we're going to go and take a shot. We're going to close our lights so we don't have any light splashing coming from above. We don't want that in any of our shots. We're going to see what the flash is giving us over here. So we're going to take the shot. Let's take a look what we're getting. Okay, we're a bit bright. I'm going to lower that up a bit. Okay. Take a look at our histogram. Our histogram is showing good, so take a look at the image on the screen. I'm going to show that on the screen. And based on the image that I'm getting, you're going to see a couple of things. First of all, the light is very white, even when the light has been gelled. If I didn't have that 1/4 CTO gel on here, it would be much more blue. And it would be very apparent that a flash is being used. But you're also going to see on the image that the shadows on the left side of the model's face are very sharp. You can especially notice the triangle on the subject falling off the nose. So on the image, if you look on the left side of her nose, left side of where I'm looking, there's a big triangle. It's sharp. There's nothing wrong with that, but the fall off is very fast and the shadow is very dark. That would be considered hard light. The two best ways that I use to diffuse hard light are by using a shoot-through umbrella, which many photographers don't use, and they resort to soft boxes all the time, which are far more expensive and require speed rings. That's a big mistake. Umbrellas are extremely versatile and very cheap. So we have a simple ProMaster umbrella. I believe this one is a 32-inch umbrella, probably costs around $18. It can be used to actually even diffuse sunlight coming over above you if you want to capture a model, or it can be put into your flash and may be used to diffuse the light on the model's face. What does this effectively do? It scatters the beam of light over a larger area, and it makes your flash or your subject, light subject, appear much bigger to the model. The bigger your light source, the softer the flash or the softer the light will be. And that's the main rule of soft light, apart from distance. So we put in our umbrella. We're going to keep our grid. Our grid will still be able to disperse the beam pattern. It's going to sort of narrow that. I still recommend keeping your umbrella quite far away from the flash head so it's able to disperse along the entire umbrella. I'm simply keeping the grid on to not blow the flash out and light up our entire kitchen. Same rules apply. I like to shoot my umbrellas a little bit off axis, as I told you guys in my previous videos. Now we have an umbrella. So obviously using a flash gel robs a little bit of power from your flash. Putting on a diffuser such as an umbrella robs a little bit more power off your flash. So we're going to compensate for that by either raising the ISO, raising the flash power, or closing our aperture. So let's go ahead and try that again. Let's close these lights. Let's try the same shot, this time with our shoot-through white umbrella diffused. Crystal, our model, has been very cooperative, so we're going to lower the aperture to compensate, and we're going to take a test shot to see what we're getting. A little bit dark. We're going to lower the aperture again. I'm at 2.8. I'm going to bring that down to 2.0. F2, ISO 100, 1/160th of a second, 45-degree angle, light coming down from above over the subject like natural light falls, 45-degree angle. We're disregarding the fact that there are shadows on one side of the face. It's not about shadows. If you wanted to fill this side of the face, you can use a reflector or another light. But here we're simply lighting up one side of her face, called Rembrandt lighting. Here we go. ISO. Let's shoot. Okay, great. All right, turn off the lights. Now if you look at the back of the screen, you're going to notice a couple things have changed. First of all, the light fall off is a lot less dramatic. The shadows are already much less sharp than they were before. Much less sharp. The light looks smooth on her face. There's no big blobs of white or specular highlights. They've been distributed amongst a larger area. Hence the size of this umbrella. Accelerated, enhanced, enlarged the area of this tiny flash. So in relation to this subject, this looks very big. The further I move it away from the subject, the harder the light will become, because the smaller it'll look to the subject. The closer I bring it to the subject, the larger again it will look, the softer the light will be, the faster the light will fall off. Like I said, that's going to be for another video. That is one way to diffuse hard light. Cheap, easy. Another way would be using a reflector. The white part of your reflector. Such an awesome idea because you can use the reflector for so many things. I've already showed you flags, black flags, block light. I showed you silver reflectors, good for fashion and being able to diffuse window light. But this time we're going to use the white part of the reflector. Now, most of the time this does require an assistant because you can't hold the reflector on your own. But you can also buy simple reflector arms. They cost around $20 besides the cost of your reflector. So let's grab the reflector. So we'll take off the umbrella. We'll close it up, and just like that, it's easily portable, super lightweight, super easy to afford. You can't go wrong. And by the way, one of my favorite modifiers is a deep parabolic umbrella, which is my Westcott 53 Apollo. I love umbrellas and the soft window light that they give. For me, it's not replicated. You can't replicate it by any other modifier. Here is the white part of our 5-in-1 reflector. I basically took this part out of the silver and black, and I think this would basically be used to, you can also diffuse sunlight. Let's say the sun is shining in the sky, boom, you have your assistant hold this, here's the model, here's your diffusion. It's the same thing when it comes to a flash. You'll place the reflector directly in front of the flash, like this. Obviously you have to have an assistant, so your assistant would probably stand here, he would give a proper distance from the flash to the reflector, because the bigger the reflector feels in comparison to the subject's head, the softer the light will be. So we can back the flash up, give adequate distance for the flash to illuminate the entire portion of the reflector, and what do I have? Pretty much a round circular softbox. So I've already taken the shot. I have it saved on my camera so as to not let the video run too long. I'll show you an image of that on the screen right now. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same thing on the screen. You'll notice the shadows are just as soft, actually almost even softer than the umbrella. Why? Because in relation to the umbrella, the reflector circular is even larger than the umbrella. So it appears even softer to our model's head, crystal or mannequin head. So that's pretty much the basis of how to diffuse soft light, two very budget-friendly ways. These are not expensive. This probably costs around $25, and your basic umbrella, you can literally get one on Amazon for $15. Another way would even be to use a bed sheet. A massive square bed sheet can rival some of the most expensive octaboxes in the world, and I challenge you to oppose or find me otherwise, any results that prove otherwise. But a bed sheet will rival that. It's not easy to use a bed sheet, obviously. So I hope that explains this. Like I said, it wasn't a flash course, it wasn't about settings, it wasn't about all that. It was about simply how to diffuse soft light, hard light, and what it means and what basically light means in relativity to the subject. What does apparent light size mean in relativity to a subject? So that's it for this course, this question, as you could say, call it a Q&A. For the next one, I'm thinking about doing the inverse square law, but I guess we'll see. Have yourselves a great day, and if you have any questions, don't be shy, and if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Take care, guys.